usually we just talk and then, surprise, I actually started a podcast. Like right now. Started a podcast right now.
That's
Hi guys, welcome to the, I guess it's the inaugural episode of the newly christened AME After Hours. We were called previously called AME Rain Check.
So, what was the thought process behind changing the name?
We have to first is the logo. The logos. It's not. It shouldn't be a TV anymore because we're doing audio format.
Are we designing a new one?
And it's the new year. It's 2019. It's the perfect time to rebrand and refresh our name because Rain Check has been through its ups and downs and
Mostly downs.
But hey, we did our best with that. But yeah, right here we're here now with AME After Hours, and we're still here with Go.
Wait, why am I the first one?
Because you're beside me.
I am Stephen.
And our special guest for today, it's fine. You don't have to restart it. Our special guest for this episode, the one and only Mr.
I don't have a name.
Mr.
It's Mr. Anton.
You probably know him.
You probably know him as the co-host from the Rain Check.
From back in the day. Anyone who's been here for... When did we start that?
2016?
Anyone who's been here for like 2-3 years? Maybe I remember.
So
Yeah. It's been so long. And now we're here. 2019, new
year, new us.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's actually just start now. Last week, we talked about what we're looking forward to for winter 2019. Yes. And, by the way, we're still here in the Tambayan. If you don't know, we're still here in the Tambayan. We're always recording here with the lovely leaves and the jeepneys.
The sounds of Specca in the background.
And we're here with some of our other members. We might jump in at any time in the podcast. So, yeah. Where were we? Right, we were introducing the last
topic from last week.
Which was
last week we talked about what
2019.
we wanted to see in 2019, and now that we've
seen some of them.
A few. Most of the notable ones, I suppose.
I was the one who saw the least of them.
Yeah, I guess so.
I literally just watched everything today because
of this.
Yeah, because of that. You know me, class. You know the Anton tradition. I don't watch the anime.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah. Speaking of Anton tradition, you know what? Let's start with you. What did you watch this?
Okay.
This season.
I watched
first episode.
I wanted to watch the things. Because this season actually has a lot of manga adaptations. I think that's like the thing about this season. Lots of big ticket franchises. So, I haven't seen Promised Neverland. I was supposed to watch it, but it wasn't working on my phone. The file wouldn't play on my phone. Like the audio or something, it wasn't supported. So,
what are you using?
MX Player? Or
Same, but MX Player should work on everything.
It was like a special audio format that didn't work. But all the other ones worked. Yeah. So, I was supposed to watch that and... what was the other one?
Promised Neverland.
I think that was Neverland. That was the only one I wasn't able to finish. And I didn't get to watch the second episode of Shield Hero. But I watched Gotobun because I was actually the first one among my group of friends who discovered that one.
We didn't mention this last week. Gotobun is about those 5 kid quintuplets.
5 quintuplets that don't look anything alike.
In English,
one quintuplets.
Quintessential quintuplets.
Great name. It's a great name.
They don't have to be identical. I mean, they're quintuplets.
No, but they look really different.
I heard that there are some massive changes from the anime, from the manga to the.
I watched only the first episode and not really so far.
I thought that their hair were.
Oh, but you
was
can't
a big
really.
change,
It's in a manga, so it's black and white. Like I don't really pay attention to the color pages.
I thought they're all red-haired.
No, they're not. Their hair is all different.
No?
Colors as well.
They're all
shades of red,
but they're all different. Different shades of red.
Okay, they're all red.
Here, Ichiko had white hair, so that was kind of...
No.
Was it?
No. They're just shades of the color red.
Oh, they're all still red.
It's very distinct
in
the anime.
Okay.
But in the manga, even in the color pages, it's actually a bit more, a lot more difficult to tell the hair colors apart. So for people that came from the manga, they were quite surprised, myself included. I was hoping that it would be more difficult to tell them apart when they change their hair colors.
Mhm.
Are we discussing this anime now, or
Yeah, we
go
are.
on?
Yeah,
Alright.
well, we'll discuss each anime as we pass through them.
all right? So I also have watched Gotobun.
Have you watched Gotobun?
No.
I didn't watch
Mr.
Gotobun, so
watched
it's
the
all you
least
too.
of them.
I'm sorry.
Okay. First impressions. What do you think, Anton?
It feels cheap.
I can agree with that.
It feels cheap and it feels generic, which is... I don't know if I just have...
Soft spot for
Because when I first read it, I really liked it. But like now I'm starting to think, if I reread it, would I feel the same way as I do with the anime? I'm not sure if it's just because the anime is just... It oozes of low effort. So when I was watching it, I wasn't that
That's
into it.
sad.
You know?
How low effort is it?
they
Is
spent
it that
A1,
incest?
right?
they spent most of their budget on the VAs. I'm pretty sure.
Ah, who are the VAs?
I
Kanohana's
only
there.
know Kanohana. Kanohana is Ichigo.
You can look it up, but
Is
I'm pretty
Kanohana
sure.
voicing all 5 of them?
No, she's
No. I'd love to see
if,
one.
if
though.
they all had the same voice actors, that would actually be interesting because you know she'd have to. It's kind of like in Danganronpa where like Junko has her like all her different
Yeah,
personalities.
Mm.
It's just the Kanohana show.
Yeah, except
Kanohana show.
obviously you know it's more marketable
Mhm.
if you have lots of different voice actors. So basically, okay, if the plot of this series for anyone who hasn't read the manga is basically, so you have this smart guy. His name is Isugi.
Wasugi.
Yeah, he's like the smartest kid in school, and part of what I liked about Isugi when I first read the manga was actually that, you know, he's not just smart because he's smart. He's smart because he makes flashcards and works hard, but mostly the flashcards. I love flashcards, so, you know, I'm like, this guy, I'm like,
Power of flashcards.
you know, this he's legit. You know, he works his ass off to get good grades. So, unlike usually most harem protagonists,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's in debt. You know what he actually seemed like? He reminded me a lot of a manhwa protagonist.
Because of his hairstyle.
His hairstyle, his
So-
eyes, his face is really angular, and he's poor.
Hey! Oh, there's just members going in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he's poor. If you ever read a manhwa, pretty much, I'd say 80% of manhwas, the main character is poor. So, yeah, then basically, to get money, he decides, or well,
Work as a
his
tutor.
parent
Yeah.
sets him up to teach this rich family's daughter, but whoops, it's not a daughter, it's 5 daughters, and they're all quintuplets, and they're all very different from each other, and it's a harem wacky adventure. Running subplot is basically, you know he's gonna get married to one of them, but you don't know who, except in the anime, he's got a very distinct hair color, so I'm just gonna ignore that because
Let's go to the anime. First thing I saw was that, okay, throughout the manga, there would be small scenes teasing the future of the person, the girl he's gonna marry.
because they show his wedding day,
Yeah.
basically.
So in the manga, since it's all black and white, and the girls technically look alike, it's hard for us readers to guess who it was. So
Yeah.
we've been debating like it's definitely Nino or it's Miku or it's Itsuki.
Yeah,
Ichika,
Nino Strong.
You know, Nino Strong. So when it came to the anime, the first scene is also the teased future wedding scene, but because they put distinct hair colors.
Yeah, that's what I
member.
heard. That it makes it obvious.
So like now we manga readers we're like put into the situation like it can't be her, but because
it's
her
the same color.
hair color matches the future bride's hair color, it must be her. But then no, maybe she dyed her hair.
I'm just gonna assume that scene is kind of, you're meant to not take it like
Seriously, no.
that
but
she is the one, you know, just because her hair color is the same one. Yeah, I feel like obviously the whole appeal of the plot of not
Is
knowing who he's
who?
gonna marry
Yeah.
is, so if you just give it away at the beginning, it's no point. So I'm just gonna assume that this isn't. I'm not gonna take that at face value that it's her because it's just,
For
she
that
has the hair.
one shot, I guess they should have kept the hair.
Like a
They
veil,
should-
maybe.
yeah, they should have-
a veil on.
They should have hidden the hair.
Yeah, you could.
But no. Okay, the eye color is the same, like throughout all of them, but then the hair is just really the hair. Yeah.
Aren't
so-
there actually scenes of her talking in the manga?
Yeah, she also.
The
talks.
So
bride?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Wait,
who
is this like How I Met Your Mother, where they like flash
Oh,
forward
but
and back?
it's mostly in the past, but then sometimes it flashes to the future. It's like,
But only that wedding scene.
Yeah, it's all condensed within the wedding day. So, there's moments where do you remember that? Whatever. But obviously, if it's an anime, you'll hear a voice. If you know the voice actors, can tell them apart.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know how that's gonna work. I guess they just better not put a scene where we're
Words,
talking.
just put it in miming.
Yeah, maybe she'll do sign language or something.
So in essence, Gotobun, for an anime adaptation, pretty slightly disappointed. But I think.
I mean, are you disappointed? I was wholly expecting this to be not that good.
Oh, well, that's for you. It's for me. I'll still watch it. Yeah.
I mean, for one thing, I don't like that they're adapting Gotobun when it's like, as far as I can tell, it doesn't seem anywhere close to done. So I don't like it when they do that, because you just make a season and then you have to wait like how many years till we get.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so
What other things did you watch?
Okay, then I watched the second season of Mob Psycho.
How was it? Is it better than the first or?
Okay,
wait. Who else has watched Mob Psycho?
Mob Psycho. All right, one of our other audience members. Watched Mob Psycho.
Yay!
Yeah. Mob Psycho.
Okay.
None of us watched Mob Psycho.
I actually don't like Mob
Do you
Psycho
wanna pitch in, Clarice?
as much as other people.
Yeah. Okay, it's fine.
What about you, Clarice?
I'm
Yeah.
okay. Hi. Binge-watch ko yung Mob Psycho nung mga around last week.
Oh, recent.
Sobrang ganda ng animation. How do I even begin? As in, siya, in-animate siya ng Studio Bones. And even by Studio Bones standards, ang ganda ng animation, grabe. Like, hindi lang siya, like, sobrang spectacular ng fights. As in, yung pag-animate ng mga characters niya, nakaka-capture na yung personality niya mula sa mga theatrics ni Reagan, mula dun sa medyo quiet na personality ni
Hindi ba siya parang, nung kasabay siya pagkatapos siya ng One Punch Man?
Yeah.
Parang siyang anak ni One Punch Man.
I believe the
One
animation
Punch
director of One Punch Man is the director, or the
Diba?
director of One Punch Man.
Parang pareho
I think
lang
is
sila.
the director.
I heard the first episode of season 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah. Actually, nakita ko kasi sa Tumblr yung specific na clip dun sa season 2 episode 1 na very beautiful na scene dun about the letter. Mga novel, novel pala.
Ripped pages.
Yeah. And actually, yun yung talagang nag-tip over sa akin na panurin ko na tong anime na to and binge-watch ko siya. Especially, yung nung mga pinanood ko siya early on, feeling ko hindi dahil sa sobrang ganda na animation, dinrap ko siya sa episode 1 dahil hindi ako natatawa sa mga jokes niya. Pero, or either nag-improve yung comedy or nag-warm up ako dun sa, or parang na-appreciate ko yung comedy niya later on.
Oh. Same thoughts?
Okay, so Mob Psycho, I actually don't like it as much as most people do, because I think people kind of overblow a lot of the narrative elements of it. They always talk about the relationship between Mob and Reagan, but like to me,
What's the name of the character, Mob?
well, his name is Shigeo, but his nickname is Mob.
Okay.
So like they talk about like all this narrative stuff, and I just don't really see it. To me, Mob Psycho is really just about the animation. That's kind of all I really like.
So
I mean, there's
great
other
animation.
yeah, it really has really great animation, but that's kind of all it really has. It has style, it has really great animation, but like I don't really care for the story all too much. But the first episode of season 2 I actually thought it really had a resonant, emotional curve.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had a point, because some of the episodes in the previous seasons kind of self-contained, but they don't really go much. But then towards the later half, it kind of gets an actual plot, like a continuous plot. So second season, it's kind of like that, where it's just like, it's just kind of a moment in his life. But I really enjoyed it, and it looks great.
So you're gonna continue watching it?
Yeah, but I'll wait for it to be over,
wait for it
because I don't watch the
finish.
anime.
Yeah.
But I
It's
definitely recommend it.
Is it?
But
At least it's fun visually, diba?
yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure,
fun
for sure.
visually.
Like they actually have. There was this one scene in the first episode where I think because they use this like oil animation.
Yung paint on glass.
Yeah, they paint on glass.
Oh,
That was the ending. The ending of the first season was like the whole thing was like that. So there was this one scene from the first episode of season 2 where I think I don't know if it was just drawn like the way that, but it looked like they were using like dust.
Sand animation lang.
Yeah,
ito.
sand like that. It was kind
Same
of
Now I'm
animator din ng
interested.
Paint on Glass, si
Wow.
Miyasato.
Wait, is
Okay.
this in the middle of the episode?
yeah. Like there's like
Whoa.
when you see where you show a guy and he's kind of like got some kind of emotional shit going on. He's like, oh, turn the sound like that.
Yung Paint on Glass animation, bukod sa ginagamit siya sa ending scene, ginagamit din siya doon sa mga very specific scenes.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
middle of the episode. Oh, that's strong.
Para mag-capture na daw ng certain mood.
Yeah,
Was
so
there
like
something-
heighten.
May ganun ba siya sa kanya dun sa first season?
Yeah.
Okay. I see. That's actually strong
It
animation.
looks like I have homework
Yeah,
to do.
Also in the opening, they had some 3D. And I'm just like,
Parang mixed medium na yung...
yeah, like the opening, like the first shot of the opening, everything's 3D, and it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Amazing.
Okay.
Other anime you want to
Okay.
put a spotlight on that you want?
Oh, I want to talk about Kaguya.
Hey, I'm gonna join in on that.
Who watched Kaguya? You watched Kaguya?
I've read Kaguya, I watched
You
Kaguya.
watched
Same,
Kaguya?
yep.
You watched Kaguya?
know.
I watched Kaguya.
Everyone has
Anyone
seen
in the audience
Kaguya.
watch Kaguya?
Haven't watched it, but I heard good things about it.
Everyone watched
Okay.
Do
it.
you remember who made Kaguya? Was it
A1.
A1? That's just the
A1.
thing. That's the surprising thing. I'm like, whoa.
I have an illogical bias against A1, but I think they're doing well on this one. First episode. Okay. So, Anton and I think some of the audience members here are manga readers as well. So
Yeah.
looking forward to this when it was announced.
I wasn't. When I heard, oh, there's a
Did we talk
Kaguya.
about Kaguya last week?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
When
See,
I
how
heard
was the
that,
first?
you know,
How was the? We don't have to say the synopsis.
Okay, so like I
How was
said from last week, I was looking forward to how they're gonna animate because Kaguya's dialogue heavy. So when I watched the anime, they were pretty creative with the dialogue because there were some interesting scenes, and then of course they animated the very famous "How cute" line of
Yes.
Kaguya. So for me, I was impressed that it wasn't as bad as I was thinking it would be because it was A1. But yeah, good job on them. I recently heard that the staff are the ones who did Rakugo Shinju, so that might explain how they were able to make it more creative than I would think. What about you, Anton?
well, like the first impression, I guess, like when I see that opening, I think this is like a James Bond.
Oh
opening.
yeah, I love the opening.
Anton, there was one thing you said to me before we started. Like, how did you receive Kaguya-sama? It was.
Yeah.
It was what was it?
It was what would I
It
say?
was surprising.
Surprisingly decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the same. It was surprisingly decent.
Yeah.
Because I was really expecting this to be like a total flop.
Same.
Just Gotobun in this, I'm like, I really like the mangas for both of these. I'm like, oh man, they're gonna suck. Like,
I
was
I
so
went
sure
into
they're
this anime with the same expectations.
Yeah.
Like for me, like you always just go into anime with bad expectations, so you never get disappointed. But if it's good, you'll feel happy, So
the
It was
biggest
surprisingly
surprise.
decent.
The biggest
this is
surprise
really,
was the
like,
opening.
biggest surprise for me.
I like that.
It is a weird
song.
opening.
Yeah, it was
It
like
was pretty good.
compared to like Gotobun's opening, which is like this.
It gave me the same, almost the same feeling as Flyers.
Kinda, yeah. I don't like the song as much as
The
Flyers,
song
but,
genre is quite rare for an anime opening, so I think it gave me a surprise. What else can we talk
Anything else?
about?
But really, it's just
Or-
that the thing that makes Kaguya interesting is that it's not. Don't treat it like say like Gotobun, where it's basically just 1-to-1 recreation of the manga. Here, because Kaguya is lots of moments in it, it's just dialogue boxes and them making faces. So here, like to show their kind of mental battle, because Kaguya is basically like this big mental battle.
Love is war.
Love is war, as the title says. So they show the scenes of them like calculating in their heads the way they're like strategizing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna compare this to say to JoJo. Like JoJo, I watched JoJo Part 5, and I'm like, on episode 1 I really enjoyed, and episode 2 I'm just like, wow, this is so boring. Because it's just people standing around talking. Or like thinking in their head, I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
It's like a couple of minutes, a couple of
Yeah.
seconds. It's the JoJo thinking.
Yeah, exactly. You're just sitting there. You're like, and you explain to your opponent, I went inside his body and did this and that. I'm like, you don't have to tell us that, like, or you don't have to emphasize it
I
so
was
much.
also afraid that it would be like the Sword Art Online cafe scenes where it's just a lot of panning
Well, they're
shots
just
while
in
talking.
the student council
So
room. just talking.
thankfully,
They're visualizing the thoughts.
they
Yeah.
visualize the thoughts.
They really
exactly.
take good effort to make everything energetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one way to describe
So
it.
you might say it may be too energetic in some way. Maybe it's like a bit, I wouldn't call it pure cinema, but it's definitely, I think it's the kind of thing that would only work in animation because how are you gonna do all this VFX in a live? It would look kind of weird and tacky.
The first episode cliffhanger was nice. The last scene.
Oh, I don't remember what
The
happened.
one where she's talking to her.
Oh yeah, to
butler.
Haisaka, yeah.
Yeah. The Kaguya was cute in that moment.
Oh, they had that Looney Tunes moment.
Oh, where she
Yeah,
busts
it's
out of
weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Does that
red
happen?
screen and then Kaguya busts out to Tsukomi or something.
Yeah. Does that happen in the manga?
I don't. No, that's the thing.
That's creative.
Most
right
things
there.
that
Okay,
happen,
okay,
most of the stuff in this anime adaptation aren't in the manga. Like a lot of the ways they visualize stuff, it's just not there. I mean, I have to read the first chapter again, but
that final, Looney Tunes-esque scene was definitely
yeah,
not in
it
the
definitely
manga.
was not there.
It's not in manga.
So yeah,
I recommend.
I would
Well,
recommend
can
it.
watch.
Maybe I'll watch it more.
Yeah.
Same.
I heard parang sikat daw na animator tuloy, director yung involved daw
Okay,
sa...
the Shaft thing.
Oh,
Shaft thing.
who's the director? I didn't check because I wasn't following this until now.
Much of the staff that works on Kaguya are from Shaft, apparently.
So are we waiting for a countdown to a Shaft belt?
I mean, I feel like maybe one has already happened. We just
didn't notice. Now I'm gonna be aware.
Any other
Okay.
shows?
Let's see, what else is the other stuff? Well, we can leave Shield Hero. So,
Shield Heroes for later because that has
Shield
some
Hero
things in it.
is say Mob Psycho, Kaguya. Okay, Boogie Pop.
Yeah. Okay. Who
Unlike
watched Boogie Pop?
Kaguya,
Wait, I watched
no
Boogie
one has
Pop.
watched Boogie Pop.
I watched
Yeah.
Boogie Pop.
I'll
Oh.
watch it later.
Okay, Boogie Pop to me is the exact opposite of Kaguya. I know of Boogie Pop. I know of its cultural significance, but I haven't actually read or watched the original, or the older iterations.
Mm-hmm.
But I came into this, I'm like, oh, it's Boogie Pop, and I'm like, I've always loved the look of that main character of Boogie Pop. So I'm like, oh, this is Boogie Pop. I've heard so much about it. I want to see it. Then I watch it, and I'm like, really
How many
underwhelmed.
episodes did you get
One,
into?
just one.
Oh, really? You didn't
Yeah.
watch the second?
Because I was just trying to watch the first episode of
I see.
everything. So
It picks up on the.
I hope
second
because the first episode was just really unsatisfying. Like I don't really know.
Yeah, the first episode had nothing going
Yeah.
on in it. Like it was just the introduction of Boogie Pop and then how she switches.
Does that guy show up again, or does that just have one
The
time?
second and the third episode is about what happened in between the first.
Okay, so
what happened behind the scenes?
Yeah, the stuff that you didn't know what was going
Yeah.
on.
So I guess the first episode was there just to introduce the main character, Boogie Pop, and the second and third, it's because none of the main characters were there for the second and third episodes. The arc for the second and third, the alien arc. I guess it's an arc. I don't know. Boogie Pop was only there at the end.
Oh,
So I guess that's why it's important. That's why they did it that way. Kasi most of the characters that were in the second and third episode don't appear in the first episode until the end.
yeah, like like those girls in the classroom.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're important because they seem to put so much emphasis.
They were
on
the quote unquote main characters for the second and third episode.
so you need to meet them in episode 1 before
Yeah,
you can understand.
But Boogie Pop herself didn't show up in the second and third episode until the end,
which is
which is weird.
But that's what I expect. To me, like Boogie Pop, she's kind of like the observer,
Yeah, she's
even though
like-
she's meant like
She's
she
like
talks about it.
Hell Girl. What's her name? Jiko Shoujo.
Yeah,
Jiko
she's-
Shoujo. She always appears just at the start.
like
of the
she's
end.
not like an instigator. She's not really a part of it.
I don't know. I just
don't
know her as the girl with the But yeah, by the end of the third episode, they've completely circled back to the end of the first episode.
Alright,
So
well,
I guess it picks up.
I was gonna continue watching it, but aside from that, I also just was really underwhelmed with the animation.
Yeah.
Because like, right, this is like, right, okay, if Mob Psycho is Bones, who's the other one, right? You have Madhouse.
Mhm.
So I've seen some
This is Madhouse.
So I see some Madhouse show, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna look good. And then and then the first scene, you have a shot of a girl
But
with
there
her
weren't-
mouth just open. She's not talking. Her mouth is just open.
There
Like,
weren't any fight scenes in the first.
no, but it's not. I'm not talking about the fight scenes.
But I
'cause
guess
to me,
just Madhouse.
honestly,
in general.
fight scenes, like to me, that's when it's supposed to look good. But what I really care about is when it's not a fight scene.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
everything to look. I want things to always look good or decent.
There was that one scene in the roof where the main guy is just standing and he has just his
and he has
wrist
this
motion.
like He's really,
generic.
okay, this is
He
what
has
I
the
noticed.
Pikachu face.
This is what I noticed. In Boogie Pop, they use a lot of wide shots.
Yeah,
And it's really annoying because, and they linger on it. So you see their really off,
when it's wide,
unfocused, ugly
it's not
faces.
detailed. Yeah,
You see
they're
that,
all Pikachu.
but the Pikachu face is more detailed. Than, you can
That's
see an
true.
expression. He doesn't
It's
even
true.
have a mouth.
It's true.
Like, so yeah, like I was really, I'm like, oh, it's Madhouse, it's Boogie Pop, this is gonna be so cool, it's gonna look so good. And really, like, I want things to look consistent. I'd rather things be more consistent than have one explosive moment.
That's true.
That's why, like, Mob Psycho, it always looks good. It has really great moments, but it always looks good. Here, it had moments where, like, that, there's that one time where the crying guy, like, stumbled on the floor, or when the cops were chasing him. Those look good, but then the rest of it looked kind of shitty. So, that part, it was really boring. Like, it was just, like, lots of panning, lots of...
Also, narrative-wise,
flat
I have
shots,
problems with Boogie Pop because by the end of the third episode, again, there are no loose ends.
Oh,
so
so
there's no
it's
hook
like
to
it's
the
gonna
next
start
episode.
it's gonna start a new arc, basically.
Yeah. In the first episode, your main hook was like, oh, what happened between these characters? Like,
Yeah, because like
why do they know?
you obviously know something's going on. Because basically in the first episode they show like these short like 3 second clips of some insane shit happening.
Yeah.
And then like okay, and then they just cut out and it just goes back to normal life. I'm like, what just happened?
By the end of the third episode, except for like who's Boogie Pop and what's exactly happening, like, well, what exactly is happening kinda has been solved by the end of the third episode, at least for that many things.
Yeah, for that, because as far as I know, Boogie Pop is basically like an anthology book.
It is.
Yeah,
That's
so-
what I felt. Like, oh, they're probably gonna start a new story with a new
Yeah,
guy.
it's kind of like
still
a darker than black. Where
Kind
it's
of
just
like Mushishi.
yeah, or like Mushishi. Kind of like that. It's like gonna be like a short, maybe 2-3 episode
Per
like,
with new people.
arc, and then it just switches. But Boogie Pop is like the only thing that is like always a part of the story. And she's like not even there most of the time.
I know, it's so weird. She looked so cool.
Yeah,
That's
she
what I said
looks
last
so
time.
awesome.
Like, it's an anime with an attitude, and it showed. But Boogie Pop wasn't there for most of the time. She wasn't even in the second episode. Like the
Like, at
whole
all?
second episode.
Wow.
Not at all. the characters we were introduced to in the first episode weren't there at all in the second episode. It's like they started all over again. It's so weird. Anyway, Bella, how about you, Steph?
What?
You
We've
discussed
discussed much
Kaguya.
of what I've
So okay,
watched.
Kaguya, Gotobu, and Boogie Pop, Mob Psycho.
Oh, let's talk about I watched the third season of Data Live.
Oh, I have not seen.
I
any
have
of Data
not
Live.
heard of Data Live in a long time.
When was
so
the last season of Data Live?
I don't know.
It was like
Years ago, high school.
you were in high school, yeah.
We were in high school.
when Data
This
Live
was
season
one of
2
my
came out.
favorite shows back then. But I guess
Is it still one of your favorite
I guess
shows?
I matured now.
Is
Now that
Kurumi
I
still
watched-
the best girl?
Of course. Now that I've watched Data Live season 3, I see how, man, I was so shallow back then. Like, let's just say,
I wonder how people who watched, like, who were waiting for Toaru season 3.
Yeah, and then they watch it and like, wow, this is really light novel.
Yeah. Yeah, so same with Data Live. Like, the character interactions are very shallow. Like, I'd expect, this is where Toko's gonna shout and scream, like, hey, stop that, or something like that, because that's lewd. Okay. And then, the characters, I don't really feel as attached to them anymore. So I'm able to see it in a more, I guess, objective view. And, well, I haven't seen Kurumi yet, so I'm not gonna decide. She was my best girl.
That's a very forlorn.
I don't know if I'm gonna continue watching it since I basically know what's gonna happen in
So
season
most of
3.
those are the spotlighted animes that you've had.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
What was your favorite one? You watched Kemohikose, didn't you?
I did. I haven't watched episode 2 yet, though.
Alright. Well, which of the anime that you've watched this week is the standout one for you? Kaguya?
Is it? I don't think so. I think it's
Data Live season 3.
Yeah, that stand out in a way.
let's stand on in a way. I think it's Shield Hero.
Well,
I'm gonna
okay. Right.
keep watching
You
that
can't talk about that right now
Well,
because we're gonna...
For me,
Yeah.
Kaguya for the surprise that it was actually good.
I see.
But Mob Psycho is probably the one that I like the most. But yeah, Kaguya and Mob Psycho are probably the two best for me.
Alright, so let's go to Moe.
Oh gosh. I'm so sorry.
I
didn't
know.
know about anything that
Well,
you're talking about.
We've already established this last week.
You watched?
Okay,
I
go.
did watch stuff, guys, just not the ones that you mentioned. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I did continue watching Slime.
Okay.
That's reincarnated as a slime?
I
Because I feel like there's like 2-3 different slime animes or whatever.
Just one. Just one. The
Really?
time
Is
I
that the
got
only one?
reincarnated
I feel like
as a
there's so
slime.
many. They all feel the same to me.
No,
So-
there are different fantasy anime. This
yeah, no, there's lots of animes where you get reincarnated as different things.
yeah.
So
But this one's a slime.
this one specifically is
This is the only
slime.
one.
Not a spider,
Right, Moe?
not as
we
Hajime.
don't have
This
the
is the only
spider
slime
yet.
one.
That's the only slime one I know.
We don't have the fridge.
I've checked the list. There's
The hot
no other
springs.
slime one.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about the other reincarnated things where there's an LN where you get reincarnated as a fridge, and there's an LN where you get reincarnated as hot spring.
Oh, I saw one where they got reincarnated as a JK sex worker.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that was
weird.
pretty
Oh, I
dark.
know
That one
that.
was pretty
I heard
dark.
that.
It's so weird.
Oh, but this time we're talking about the slime.
Slime. Yeah,
Slime.
go on, go ahead.
So,
Yeah. Yun. So, for people who don't know it, the name of the anime is Tensei Shitara Slime Dattaken.
Weeb.
Wow. Anyway,
Reincarnated. That time I was
that time
reincarnated.
I was
Yeah.
reincarnated
So there was
as a
another
slime.
time where
Okay.
something else.
Who knows?
Anyway. So there, the anime starts right after the Orc Lord saga. The Rimuru is now the chancellor of the Jura Tempest Federation.
A federation of
It's still as heart-lighted as ever.
Heart-lighted.
Wait, Rimuru is the leader of the Horde.
Oh,
Yeah.
Warcraft.
Rimuru is the leader of the Horde.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Then Rimuru still makes callbacks into his time before being a slime.
Mm-hmm.
His time as
As a salaryman.
contract worker. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's still
Not really. I think he's very under-equipped to live in political world. It's just that the mood in slime is very lighthearted.
He'd be under-equipped living in a political world, but his knowledge is just enough
Yeah, it's
to
enough to make a
establish
city.
something. Yeah.
It's
10
enough to
int.
make a city.
10, you know, not negative.
I mean, even Rimuru himself knows that he's not well equipped for this, but the circumstances ended up of him being the chancellor. So it's like, okay, let's just roll with this and see what happens.
Can't wait
Yeah.
for him to.
And it's interesting because he's actually able to use the people under him to do the stuff for him, right? Is it the case? Is he the one actually making those architectural projects and designs of the
No,
city?
that's all. What's his face? The old man.
The
Mm,
dwarf guy,
dwarves.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
He got help from
he's
dwarves.
able to
Dwarves
use
and
the
orcs.
dwarves to do that, and then he has a secretary.
He has an orc
He has
workforce.
the military leaders. So he's got it all. All he has to do is just be that powerful being.
He's
Yeah.
the,
Takes-
Wait, so is he still a slime?
He has to be, yes,
Of
he's still
course.
a slime.
So like, is he like a high level slime?
kinda.
I guess so.
His power isn't really
It's as strong as a
noted.
dragon.
It's not really described exactly how strong.
No,
it
he
is.
absorbs all the
Yeah.
power that
But then they skipped his entire power up part, and they sped it up. So
Once
all I
he-
know is he can beat most of the people in this world, and that's enough for the anime to say that he's pretty
Yeah.
strong.
I guess so.
And like especially in that Orc Lord arc,
Mhm.
for those who don't
Last
know,
season.
yeah, for those who don't know, the light novel or the manga or whatnot, they'd probably expect, oh, this might be a tough fight. But
And then
no.
surprise, just
Surprise.
ate the pig.
Just
Yeah.
phagocytosis.
So at this point, you might as well just think that not much can give him a hard time.
Anything
So,
of note this season, Moe?
Well,
besides
Senor?
slime?
No, in slime.
Oh, in slime. Well, they're finally showing that pink girl.
Milim. Yeah.
Everyone's
Demon
been
Lord.
looking forward
Yeah.
for
She was in the
Demon Lord
opening
movie.
in last season. She didn't
Yep.
show up in
Oh, that's
the first
that's
season.
no one
also
enjoys
in the
that.
Yeah.
The animator probably just wanted to animate her.
Probably.
She's
Yeah.
cute. Not gonna lie, she is cute though.
The fairy? From
Oh!
Kasi mukhang
The
di naman
Dryad. Or no, the fairy.
Yeah.
The fairy. The fairy.
Training. You're talking about training?
No. The fairy.
I love training.
That's her name.
That's gonna be spoiler na ba?
She's in the OP.
She's in the opening. You're gonna see a fairy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then everyone it seems that they're building up to another cast this season. They're all the warriors are there in the second
It's a
season.
pretty interesting cast.
The villains.
You have that like the jester.
Also, in the season 1 OP, they showed Rimuru fighting against one of the students of what's her face? What's her name?
The hero.
What's the girl's name?
Shizu?
Yeah, one of Shizu's students. Right? No, in the first part of the first season, in the first OP of the first season, they showed Rimuru fighting against Shizu. And then by the latter half, they showed him fighting against one of his students. And then that student, one of her students. And then that student also never appeared in season 1.
I think they intended to animate more than they could.
Even in the light novel and the manga, there's a clear difference in the story arcs.
There's a lot of what we call in the movie business, what we call bullshots in the first OP. A lot of characters appear that didn't appear in the first season.
Well, we can be sure they're gonna appear this time.
Yeah, but not here.
May speculation kasi may speculation is that gusto lang siya i-animate ng animator kasi di siya involved sa second OP.
I guess so.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, I hope she's gonna
the kid version of them are involved in the...
Well, I hope this Milim character is gonna be well liked by the community. Another thing to look forward to is we're gonna see more age and gender versions of Rimuru.
Oh, he's gonna use his other forms now?
Yeah, the teaming one.
Female
Why?
one. Look forward to that.
The Shizu one?
Wait,
Why?
I thought he was a slime.
Oh, this is
Oh,
gonna
okay.
be spoilers. Sorry, this is spoiler.
Oh, no.
For people who don't know, like, sure not the first season, so
Yeah.
not
Okay,
spoilers.
Rimuru ate out a girl. And
That's
That's the wrong verb to say.
Rimuru can take a form of the girl he
of
absorbs.
anyone.
Anything
He-
that
He absorbs.
he absorbs, right?
Ah.
And one of them is a female.
That
Why
asks
did
human
her-
being.
Why
It's
did
a
he eat a
diet
girl?
Go watch
She asked
season
her.
1. Go watch season
I
1.
don't like light novels.
What else?
Later on.
Piano no Mori?
Piano no Mori.
You
I
watched the
checked
first season,
yesterday. Piano no Mori hasn't yet shown up.
It's not yet showing.
Oh, unfortunate.
Alright. So, you're really just watching Slime?
Well, I also watched the first episode of Yakuza no Neverland.
Oh, talk about that. I want to hear about it.
Okay, so
I don't know. I haven't read the manga of that.
oh, you haven't read the
No.
manga? Oh no! Oh no!
I heard. Okay, here's the thing. When people rave about a manga, that's my sign to not read it. So
Really?
yeah, so since everyone's like, oh, they're all raving about Doctor Stone, talking about Promise Neverland, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna read it.
Steph, have you watched Yakuza no Neverland?
Not yet.
Have you guys here watched Yakuza?
I've seen episode 1. I'm planning on
Alright.
binging it later on.
Alright.
First impressions.
Okay, so there. Much like the first chapter of the manga, it shows itself as this cheery orphanage home with all the kids that being taken care of by someone they call Mama.
Oh, it's like Madeline.
She's a Mama is a nun. That,
It is like Madeline.
It is
handles
Madeline.
the orphanage. And the interesting thing about the orphanage is that
Actually, it's more like Darling in the Franxx.
No, it's like Madeline.
Whatever.
Do they have a dog show?
There's quite a
Continue.
lot more of them. The interesting thing about the orphanage is that they take aptitude tests, each of them.
Mm.
So, and they have barcodes on their backs.
Yikes.
It's Darling in the Franxx. They have
So,
codes.
those are some of the mysteries that are yet to be explained in the later episodes. And the fact that Mama tells the kids not to go to a very specific gate. To not go
because
near
they
it.
find out that
Darling in
they're
the
just
Franxx,
clones
don't
and
go
this is
out
just
of
the
this place.
island. You know that movie, The Island?
Oh no.
The one where they're all like it's kind of set in the future where
They take a lottery.
there's a lottery here and then you win and then you go to the island and you find you're just being harvested
for organs.
for organs.
Oof.
Is that what's gonna happen to Yakuza no Neverland?
That's why.
Oh wait,
I cannot
is
say
the manga
anything.
done? No. Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet,
Okay.
not yet.
All right.
Okay. So there. First episode is still friendly to you.
So okay,
Not sure
it doesn't
about the
at the
second
end. It doesn't like it's not like Gakugarashi right, where like at the end it's like
The quick
No,
it's like
no,
knife
we're,
twist.
we're actually not happy.
no, it's not a knife twist, but I think it's gonna do a Madoka on you.
Okay, so episode 3.
It's gonna
Episode
Madoka.
Episode
Episode 3.
Episode
okay.
2?
Yeah. I
Episode
think-
5?
Maybe episode 2 or
So,
3.
what show would be episode 2? What show would be episode 3? If episode 1 is Gakugarashi, what's episode 2?
Ah.
And then what's episode 3 and what's episode 4?
We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
on
I want
Who
to
knows?
set a scale for that.
that. On what level of nope?
Yeah. Anyway.
Animation wise, how was it?
Well,
Who made it? It's a Noitama na
pretty
show.
standard.
Is it production IG?
Yeah,
Maganda
Noitama.
yung ano, yung...
It was Noitama.
Maganda
No,
yung
but Noitama has a animation block. Or it's a
No.
TV block.
Maganda yung character animation ng Neverland, pero yung
Oh.
background siya yung medyo disappointing.
Oh, it's not like Made in Abyss.
It's not, yeah. Ang ganda ng background ng
Because that's the thing.
Hindi
I guess
masyado impressive yung sa
it's still
Neverland.
an enclosed space. It's still trying to sell itself.
Maybe
as
they'll
an
get more
enclosed
colorful,
space.
yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe later on when more
No,
stuff
I'm gonna imagine it's gonna be more dark tones this time.
I
Who
think
knows?
I'm gonna watch out more for the colors that
Yeah.
they're gonna use.
Because I always thought that Promised Neverland was... It reminded me of Made in Abyss because they're both like short people.
They're all
Okay.
chibis.
Yeah, they're both...
Wow.
They're both chill. They're all
They're all
children.
dwarves.
Yeah, they're all
Harvins.
halflings. They're
They're all
halflings.
Harvins.
They're all dwarves, and then all of them have bad things happening to them. So
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
dwarf
It's a dark manga with halflings, basically. So
It's Lord of the Rings. It's
Northern
Made in the
Kids.
Abyss, Lord of the Rings.
yeah, I guess Made in Abyss is basically Lord of the Rings. Except there's no robots in Lord of the Rings.
That's true.
Is there
but
a
there's
ring of
no-
power?
Anyway, any other anime?
Oh,
Are you gonna pass it off?
Well, I'm not this season.
Alright.
Piano in the Morning.
Yeah.
I have an anime. I haven't watched it, but I want to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's called Dimensional High School.
I'm gonna talk. You wanna talk about that?
Alright, let's
We're
talk
gonna
about that.
We're gonna pass it over to me now. You pass
Yep,
it to
yep.
me.
Yes,
Alright,
pass it
let's
on to
talk
you.
about Dimension High School. Dimension High School is the first of the 2 VR chat anime,
The other
like
one is...
explicitly VR chat anime trash that's showing this season. The Dimension High
Hey,
School.
don't call it trash, yeah.
It's trash. Dimension High School. It in the first in the PVs it showed itself as like this anime where where the 4 students and 1 teacher get transported into a
Anime High School. Like,
Kinda
quote-unquote anime.
Ruby style anime.
Oh, yeah.
3D CG.
Okay, it's... Oh.
It's
3D
yeah,
CG
it
style
definitely-
anime.
It's VR chat.
It's
guys.
VR chat anime, yeah. And then they're out there to save the world, blah 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 blah. So I watched the first episode.
Can we make this a contrast? There's another VR anime.
Yeah.
It's contrast. What's the other one?
In contrast to VR Virtual Chan wa Mitero. I'm Virtual Friends Are Seeing. That's the English translation.
Oh,
Something about
VR
friends.
chat anime? You mean Kimono Friends Season 2?
No. Wait.
Not yet.
Welcome to Max Trash Block. Because all of the anime I'm
Oh,
gonna...
if we're talking about chat, are you still watching Real Girl?
Yes.
Okay,
Talk about all
I
of
just
them.
wanted to confirm.
Let's go.
Since everyone else has already introduced all of the good anime, I'm left with the trash. So we're gonna okay. Anyway, let's go back to Dimension High School. Dimension High School. When you first see the PV, you think that it's story based. Well, there is a story, but you think that it's heavily relying on story about them transporting from the anime world and the real world, and then how does that work? So when I watched the first episode, it's kind of like that. Apparently, it's about a stone a meteorite that some guy found, and then it turns out to be some magic stone that told them that since the 4 of them plus the teacher touched the stone, they're gonna be the saviors of this world.
Oh, so it's Shield Hero.
It's kind of Shield Hero, so they get transported into the anime world. At this point, I was like,
This is a different level of isekai.
Yeah, they're like, it's gonna start. It's gonna be great. They're already.
Wait, so in
VR
that
chat
point,
world.
it was live action, right?
Yes, it was live action. The opening was meh. It was a mix. It was a mix of live action and anime. So yeah, at that point, I was like, I can forgive the live action acting because I'm used to live action Japanese shows.
You're used to Kamen Rider.
I'm used to Japanese acting. Yes. So yeah, at that point when they get transported into the anime world, I was like, yes, finally it's gonna start. All the shenanigans about VR chat, all the parodies will start, and then the main antagonist appears, and they show the protagonist a puzzle. It's a timed puzzle in like IRL timer puzzle that they have to solve.
So is it like a reality show?
Kinda looks like that.
Oh.
Is it like Busted? Have you seen Busted?
I don't know. Like but the puzzle was nice. It was a nice puzzle, but I didn't have the time nor the brain power to solve it because I'm watching this show.
It's gonna be like 5 brain, or did they just
I don't know.
solve puzzles?
Maybe. So yeah, they failed to solve the first puzzle, and then the sensei's soul gets sucked out
What?
by the Sphinx, and then they solve the next puzzle. The next puzzle was nice, but I thought this was a parody anime. Sure, the puzzles are nice, but this is supposed to be a
So
parody
okay, at this point they're like mocap.
I'm just confused.
They're like mocap 3D models.
Yes, they're walking around, trying to solve. They're looking at the board, trying to solve it.
Are they like spazzing out with their limbs and stuff?
Not really.
Going
At the
through
first part, they were.
themselves?
The first part, they were. And then by the second half, they're acting normally, and they're just focused on the puzzle part, right? And then they solved the puzzle. The Sphinx was like, "Oh, I didn't thought you'd solve my puzzle. I'll be back next time." I guess he's gonna be the bad guy. So when they go back to the real world,
Oh, so they still go back to the real world.
the
I thought they
teacher's
were
still
stuck
back.
there.
The teacher comes back to life, but the stone wants them like, "Oh, if your soul gets sucked out, your most important thing will get taken away from you." And then the sensei looks at his phone and sees that all the money he has obtained from Mobage farming has gone away, and he just runs wild, and that's how the first episode ends. The next episode is about
My
Yeah.
farm.
so there is a story there. There's a story, but it's kind of more focused on the
Story
It's
itself.
looked like it's gonna be more of like a reality show where they have to like
Yeah.
solve puzzles. and
Needless to say, I was a bit disappointed. But since this is the trash block, it's to be expected.
The trash block.
Yeah. So let's go on to our second trash anime. I feel bad just calling all of this anime trash. Don't worry, I'm still watching all of this through and through. I'm not gonna drop any of them. Next anime is Virtual San wa Mitiru.
Oh, you told me about your impressions on
Yeah.
this.
So what is
I guess
this?
that
Big
What is,
describes
sigh.
what is the plot of this?
When we were looking
There
at
is
the
none.
we were looking at the mal page for it. It just says like a show featuring your VTubers. So it's like we were like, what? What's the
No
plot?
plot summary.
So okay,
no,
is it
no
a
teaser.
popular VTuber or is it a made up for this show?
One of
They're
them I
popular.
know,
They're
and then
popular.
I think they're popular.
Most of them are in there. Most of them are up there. They're actual real VTubers.
Oh.
Is Kiz Nine?
No.
Of course they're not.
He's the only
Is
VTuber
Kaguya Luna,
Yeah.
Mirai Akari.
Akari's
She's
there.
in there.
Alright.
That one lollycat girl that has the wife beater that's loose that plays games. I don't know that. I don't care about any of them. Like honestly, I don't care about any of them. That's what made it hard for me to watch this. Okay. Virtual San wa Mituber, Virtual San wa Miteru is not an anime show that has a story. That's why it doesn't have a synopsis and man. It's just
Exactly.
It's just a collection of. Think of it this way. You have a collection of collab videos between YouTubers.
Yeah.
And then you just put them into one 23-minute
It's a
anime.
variety show
It's a variety show.
of idols.
Of virtual
Virtual.
3D
Virtual idols.
idols.
What's worse is I don't know if they're trying to ham up their acting for TV, or if it's just how they really are in their YouTube videos, but they're really hamming it up, and it's really not pleasant to hear or see. It's just a pain to watch. I mean, you get some bits there that are nice if you're into VTubers, or if you like a certain VTuber. I'm guessing they're faithful to their
It's
actual.
probably a
VTuber
prerequisite to
Yeah.
like this anime.
And since none of the VTubers I like, Kaguya Luna is in there, Kizunai is in there, so why would I even watch this anime?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if Kiz is not there, like, what's the point for me? I don't even know any of them.
Kizunai sang the opening.
Oh,
That's
okay.
weird, and she's not there.
The jokes are really hit and miss.
I guess
Hit or miss girl isn't even there. So like, it's just a pain to talk
I
about.
can totally feel the
Are you sure you're not
sadness
gonna
and
drop this?
disappointment.
No, I'm not. I can't drop this because someone has to watch it. I don't know.
I mean, people are gonna watch it. You don't have to be the one to watch it.
yeah, it's true.
But
Okay.
he has to tell us.
And all of that. Next is Girly Air Force.
Oh, Girly Air Force. Yes.
Wait.
A great time.
So was I disappointed with virtual YouTuber anime? I guess I'm not. I wasn't expecting anything of it.
yeah.
Girly Air Force, however, I was expecting something from it because I'm a fan of Haifuri, I'm a fan of Girls on Panzer, I'm a
okay.
fan of anime girls taking things seriously on combat and actually telling us info about tanks or ships.
Yeah.
And being at least a bit accurate to how they work in real life.
Mm.
And they're all girls, which is fine. There's fan service, but they're all strong, independent girl characters.
Who fly planes?
Girly Air Force is a harem anime.
What?
Oh.
There's a guy?
There's a guy.
Oh.
Not just a guy. I mean, it can be, there can be a guy in your girl-centered anime and have
But he has to
not
be like the dad or something,
Yeah,
you know, like
and-
the brother.
or the sidekick, right?
Yeah, he's not. He can't be a main character.
He's the main character in this anime.
Oh.
We didn't know
Wait,
that from
so
the
is
poster.
he part?
Yeah.
What?
Is he part
I
of
was
the
so-
girly Air Force?
like, once I saw the dude, like, okay, the first scene is planes exploding. There's a ship, passenger ship. There are girls. There are people evacuating, and then there's this one girl that's looking for. At this point, we don't know if it's her boyfriend or her relative, so we don't know. She's looking for a guy, and then she finds the guy. And she's like, oh, "Don't worry, person. I'm going to protect you no matter what." I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be her main character?" And then cut to them being in the evacuation in the ship in the boat, the lifeboat. And then the main plane comes in, right? The actual main character's plane comes in. And then we shift our focus into the guy. I was like, oh no. Once the guy's monologue starts going on, I was like, oh no. Is this going to be focused on him? And then it cuts to him like because the plane girl defeats all the evil monsters, evil planes.
So they're fighting evil like
Evil
dark,
planes.
dark
Even
planes.
alien-like planes, yeah. We're not sure at this point. And then she gets a malfunction. Well, she gets tired. The plane gets tired, and then she drops into the sea. And then we cut back to the guy. And then the guy goes and like, I'm going to save that girl. And he hops off the lifeboat and then goes to swim to the girl and then kisses her.
What?
No, sorry. The girl. He opens up the cockpit. And then the girl inside kisses him for no reason. And then
Okay,
she
as
faints.
expected.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, I was just, I can't tolerate any of this. And mind you, at this point, I still don't know whether or not the girl from the original part is the girlfriend or something else. Apparently, they're kind of cousins or sister, brother,
Oh,
sister.
okay.
But, needless to say, I was disappointed.
Okay,
This
so
anime.
is the guy? Are they called the girly Air Force? Is that their
They're
official?
called
What
girls.
is he like
They're
the,
just called girls.
I think so.
That's like their unit name.
Does he also fly
Boys.
planes?
The unit name is Barbie.
Barbie.
Okay.
This seems
I
kind of
didn't
like a
expect them
sexist
to-
show.
I didn't expect them to use. Oh,
You
that
had no chance knowing in the poster that it's going to be about a guy meeting girls. I was so pissed.
Like a bunch of girls.
Because you think,
Okay.
you think it'd be like a Girls on Panzer where like
Yeah.
they're piloting planes.
I was so excited. Like,
And
finally,
you're
I'm gonna learn about planes.
If you want to learn about plane, okay, just watch the. You remember in
Just play
Chirobako?
Ace Combat or something.
Remember the second BD episode of
Yeah.
Alice or whatever it's called, Alice.
That would be probably a better show. But who knows? He's gonna watch. Mac is gonna keep watching.
Good luck, man.
Keep us posted on.
I don't know if I want to be posted on Girly Air Force.
Apparently, there's another plane girls. Oh wait, the strike girls thing, strike witches.
Yeah,
Strike
but
witches.
they're not planes.
They're not actual.
They're
planes,
based
yeah.
on planes.
I was hoping for
but-
historical planes.
Yeah, like
Like in every.
in Girls in Strike Witches, they're like they are the plane.
No, like in Haifuri or in Haifuri or in Girls and Panzer.
Where
They're
they're
historical.
piloting actual historical like weaponry.
And they at least the properties are similar-ish, but still kind of exaggerated. Yeah. What is this? Sorry, I'm getting a message. For what? For? Which planes? I don't know any other plane anime. I'm sorry. I don't know. Anyway, what was it? The next anime, trash anime. Sorry, we're going on from trash to kind of not trash. I
Real
watched
Girl?
3D.
Is it real?
Yeah, it's Real Girl. Well, yeah, I guess we're gonna talk about Real Girl Season 2.
Yes.
3D Kanojo. 3D Mojo Jojo. It's still 3D Kanojo.
It's still 3D.
It's still that. If you liked what 3D Kanojo Season 1 presented, this that is in a predicament because his girlfriend is a real
human being.
human
It's
being.
very familiar.
Yeah. If you like that, go ahead and watch season 2. I'm on my way out from my high school girl's phase because I'm going to be working soon, so I'm more of Wotako is more to my speed now. But I still liked it. It's still nice.
I read Real Girl, but I never finished it, so I don't actually remember. And it was a really long time ago, so I don't actually remember what happens. I'll just tell you right now.
Daily life problems.
The manga at least looks nicer.
It does. In terms of anime quality, like I had a problem with this because of the animation quality from last time, but it kind of grew on me. It kind of feels a bit cozier now. So yeah, there's that. Also, pastel memories was a thing.
Pastel? Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
I know. These are just things I pick up. Pastel memories, but it actually has a pretty.
Isn't it
okay.
one of the Magical Girl animes?
Yes, it's a magic. I needed to have a magical girl anime this season. So yeah, last season I had. I think I had a magical. Was there an magical girl anime last season? No, I don't think so. No, there was none. Anyway, this was my magical
Creature or something.
So, Vinland Saga. Iba yun eh. I
I don't remember. Anyway, this season we have Pastel Memories. Okay, Pastel Memories is set in a future in Akihabara where the anime and manga industry has completely failed, and Akiba has gone back to its electronic town, the Denmachi style.
So it's just electronics now. No,
It's like
no
that
more,
one
no more
bad
beep
end.
shit.
It's like that
In
one bad
Steins
end in
Gate.
Steins Gate.
Yeah.
Where they go back to Denmachi, and there's this cafe. You won't pick up any of this. Well, you'll pick up the anime status. That's the status of the anime industry in episode 1. There are these girls in one maid cafe. It's still an anime maid cafe, anime manga maid cafe. They serve food like normal maid cafe. They offer a selection of anime and manga books. Anime manga books. What? They offer a selection of manga for their customers to watch. But of course, since this is a dystopian non-anime Akiba, they're on a decline, right? But they have this thing on the side which they show just in the last episode of the first episode.
Last part.
Last part. Sorry. What? Yeah, the last part of the first episode.
Yeah.
Sorry. In the first part of the first episode, they were searching for this book. It's a parody of Usagi Gochimon is the Order a Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a parody of that. They were searching for all the volumes for this one girl that was their customer, and they can't find it. So, in the last part of the first episode, apparently they're magical girls with this kind of rabbit familiar.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they go inside different manga worlds to save them from viruses that make people forget about the manga.
Oh. No.
Right,
Memories.
So wait. Okay, so
So it's like parodies of.
but there are actual light novels and manga mixed in whenever they look at manga. Like, there's this one shot of what's that Shota anime from last time?
Boku no Pico?
No.
No.
No, the caretaker.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Wala pa. You can cut that out. We all went silent before that. Anyway. Yeah, the Shota anime. They show that in the one of the props, and there's another one. I think Gotobun was there. I don't know. I don't remember. But basta they show legit anime, legit manga. I keep saying anime. They show legit manga and light novel together with the parody one. So what they do is virus busting, but inside manga worlds, right? So in the second episode, they go to the Rabbit Cafe world.
So is this Wreck-It Ralph for anime?
No, it's Mega Man, but
It's reverse recreators,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
but kinda lamer. Well, a lot lamer. Anyway, they go into the Rabbit Cafe world, right? It's Usagi Cafe, right?
Yeah.
What the virus did is replace Usagi with Unagi, so it's Eel Cafe.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's
pretty
slimy.
nice.
Pretty nice.
I know.
Interesting.
The virus turns all the people, the residents, into eels, so it becomes an eel cafe.
Okay, that's not nice.
The idea itself is nice. It's a really nice idea when I pitch it, but the way they present it in the anime, it's really non-eventful. A lot of it, even in the first episode, right? They didn't introduce any of the magical girl things.
Yeah.
Until the last...
That's something strange. You think that'd be happening early.
Until the ending credits start, the ending music started kicking in. There was nothing. And the second episode, they went into the Unagi world, right? The maid cafe world. They spent like a good half of the episode just experiencing the Il Cafe experience. Like talking to the people, not even mentioning the virus for like a good 10 minutes until they remember that, oh right, we have to fix this. So, it's really nothing. It's really nothing.
But it feels like that kind of pattern where first half is slice of life chill and then last half they resolve the problem.
It's really a shame because the way when I reflected, like after watching the second episode, I reflected like, am I gonna continue watching this anime? But it reminded me of, they're all anime and manga enthusiasts, and they do their best to talk about to spread the word of anime and manga to all their customers, and they do whatever they can to make sure that nobody forgets their favorite anime and manga experiences. This is like,
how heartwarming.
It's AME.
I know.
It's AME the anime.
I feel like if you tweak this a bit, it's going to be better.
If you send the message much better.
Just because of that notion, I'm going to continue watching this anime.
Okay. AME represent.
Yeah. What else? I'm watching so much.
Oh, I watched Circlet Princess.
Go. Talk about crap.
I had my own trash anime. I already talked about Dal, Data Life, so let's talk about the other one. Circuit Princess, it caught my eye only because I saw the word esports.
Oh, is it that one?
It's that one.
Oh god.
So, basically, the world is set in a futuristic place, and then there's apparently this famous game or like sports. It's actually a sport now. Where
Hey, are you saying that esports? They're called esports.
Esports is not a real sport.
They're already
Esports is sports, okay? It's a sport. And then, basically, it's a fighting sports, like PvP or something. So, it's an arena style. You 1v1 someone. Maybe there might be a team battle in the future. I don't know. So, the story follows a female main character. So, it's all girls, I think.
in this
Not
sport,
like girly
is it
Air Force.
only girls? that
So
play
far,
this?
so far, it's only girls, right?
That's a reverse, because usually in esports it's only guys. But
Yeah.
Actually.
Wow, is that a message? Who knows? So, the main heroine, she's basically completely clueless. She's like a country bumpkin that went into the capital city, something like that. And she's
But
like
she
so
plays
surprised, like,
esports?
wow, technology, wow, what's this?
futures are
Yeah.
Wow, computers.
Mirai. And then she stumbles upon this like arena, and then there's this ad of the no.
Mobile Legends.
it's a VR like augmented reality kind of.
Yeah. That's the type of
augmented or VR?
Do they put on headsets?
Yeah, AR or VR.
augmented. I feel like it's augmented.
So would they have like just have like
They
virtual
run
stuff
around.
on them, and then they
Yeah.
so they have to be physically competent.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Or do they get some kind of?
You have to be
But,
physically
yeah,
competent.
It's like you're like in the tournament area, and then the girls stand in front of each other, and then suddenly, the AR in that like arena, the ring
Yeah.
becomes an AR world, and then the viewers are outside the place, and they're just watching what's happening inside.
So I guess it is a sport. Then.
Yeah, so like you're in an arena, and then suddenly you're as a player, everything around you becomes a different environment. They fought in space, for example, in episode 1.
You finally have something to add to your short list of sports anime.
Yay! So, so this country bumpkin, she got mistaken for the guest fighter for the tournament.
And she
it
actually-
completely makes no sense because
And she's actually good.
let's get to that.
Alright.
So it's like one of the staff was like only given information on how on how the supposed guest fighter looks like. So high school uniform, girl, blah blah blah.
What, they didn't have a fucking
It doesn't,
picture.
it doesn't make sense. Like, how could you tell a staff, oh, just pick up the girl wearing this and that and looks like this, and then she apparently was standing in front of the door of the building, and like, oh, there you are.
A
I've been
person
looking
in a
for
high
you.
school uniform. You
Oh, wait.
must be the guest fighter.
And then the
Wait,
girl
wait.
was like, oh, we're gonna, oh, I want to watch.
You piqued my interest.
Wait, guys, Moe's gonna
Moe's
say goodbye early, so just say
yeah.
goodbye. Say
Bye-bye.
goodbye, Moe.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, say goodbye, Eric.
Bye-bye. You just blew my
Bye-bye.
cover.
I know.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Eric.
See you guys.
Bye. Alright.
Sorry, I can't talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. I also watched it, but yeah.
Well, I don't think we're gonna be able to talk about it. Let's talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero next week.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, anyway.
So, where was I? Oh, she got sent to the tournament ring, completely clueless about what was gonna go on. She just knows she's gonna play something. And then, it turns out she's actually pretty good at the
Surprise!
game. Like,
Yeah.
surprise!
Oh, unexpected. She's
Yeah.
She has
actually
natural talent.
natural talent
Yeah,
in this
natural
sport
talent.
that other people have been
And
working their
she's,
lives
she's
for.
a stereotypical MC that like really enjoys what she's doing, and that's what,
What
makes
sort
her
of fighting
good.
game is it? Sorry.
Huh?
What sort
No,
of
it's,
fighting?
it's
Sorry,
like an
what sort of-
AR.
AR
Yeah.
AR
Kinda,
what?
it's like an AR game. Basically.
No, what's the
Yeah.
nature of the game? Is it?
It's like you hitting each other.
Yeah.
You
It's a
it's a
fighting
fighting
game.
game.
It's a
It's an
fighting
AR
game.
fighting
That's
game.
what I said.
Okay.
Fighting game. So like she has a sword, and then the
Oh, okay,
enemy
okay.
has like a transforming weapon.
I see. It's
Enemies-
just a battle arena.
Yeah. Well, just one person though. Like two people rather.
Alright.
So from there, I already was thinking. I hope this becomes as okay as Ao no Kanata 4 Rhythm.
Oh,
That was
does that
the-
become okay?
For me, I like that because it was sports.
I had
so-
no reason to watch that because I just want to read the visual novel instead.
Yeah. So like, I hope Circuit Princess becomes at least that competitive, or at least for me. I'd put it in the trash place because it's,
Oh.
like the animation isn't anything.
It's always
it feels so
cozy here
cheap.
in
It
the-
feels cheap. The only thing that's gonna make me continue watching it is the characters, probably.
It's cozy here in the dumpster.
Yeah.
That's really sad because like, if you guys didn't know, but like I've been waiting my entire life since I was born for an esports anime,
Since you were born.
and that's all. Like that's like if there's two things I want. I like road trips and I like esports. So
Speaking of road trips, I don't think we're gonna be able to talk about that in your show. Let's talk about that in your show next week. Speaking of road trips, I forgot the last two anime that I wanted to bring up. It's the first of them was both of them are actually road trips. Both of them have one guy in the anime, just exactly one guy. Both of them have furries, and both of them involve a train ride for some reason. Those are the three connecting points. Right? So the first one is Kemono Friends Season 2. Season 2.
yeah,
The continuation of Kemono Friends Season 1. It's set, I don't know if it's set long after Season 1 or shortly after Season 1. But the important part is that Kaban is not here in this season. She has been forgotten by Serval. And she has been replaced by this new guy. And if I remember correctly, this guy received some backlash. His name's Kyururu-kun? Kyururu-chan, sorry. Kyururu-chan because Serval heard him, his tummy rumbling. It's like Kyururu. Yeah. So, Kyururu-san came out of a pod. And no one knows what this pod is. It's Tide Pod.
Tide Pod.
It's 2019. So yeah, it's a Tide Pod. So he ventures out into the park and meets Caracal and Serval. So yeah, there's that. He has memory loss, but I don't think he wasn't made from like Kaban. Kaban was made from the hat, right? The stardust came in. The dust came in to touch her hat, and then she formed a human friend. Kiruru, on the other hand, is a fully formed human with memories. He just forgot them. So they're trying to get him home.
Okay.
That was it. I have to give minus points to Kemono Friends Season 2 because they removed the portion where there's a zoologist talking about the animal featured.
Wait, is it the same director? I thought he got kicked off or something.
Tatsuki got
Is it?
kicked off.
He's
Yeah.
in the other anime.
So, it kind of feels like it's lost its creative vision,
magic.
hasn't it?
An entirely different
Kinda. It feels like a retread of Season 1.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a shame. Needless to say, I'm disappointed.
I heard it has an entirely different director now.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I remember we talked about this before in the past. about him
No
getting-
Tatsuki, no Tatsuki, no Tanoshi. Not once did Serval say Tanoshi.
Oh.
So this is not my kimono friend.
It's not
Hashtag.
Kemono Friends, not Tanoshi. It really feels like a retread of Season 1. The opening's not even that good.
Oh.
No, nothing beats Welcome to Japari Park. Welcome to Yokosu Japari Park. Whatever. Yeah. So the second Chibi CG anime that's way better than Kemono Friends. I have to say it's way better. It's Kemoikusa. Kemoikusa is the actual Tatsuki anime.
I watched that one.
So he's doing something else.
Kemoikusa is about this group of so-called humans. They think they're the only humans left that have special powers. They hop from island to island looking for water and other resources to survive. They're fighting against this red fog that I think kills them.
It
or hurts
spawns
them.
red bugs.
It spawns red bugs that are the monsters of this series. No one knows where the other humans are because there's only this initially 6 of them. 6 of them that are quote unquote humans. They're all sisters supposedly. And it's just them and this just bleak post-apocalyptic foggy urban setting. And then one day they find this weird human. He calls himself a human.
To the audience, he's the human.
To the audience, he's the human, but to the sisters, he's not a human.
He's a red bug. He's a special red bug.
In the second episode, they don't think that he's a red bug anymore, but they don't think he's human. Right?
Yeah.
And this human is very curious. He says Tanushi and all the Tanushi
This is
went
my
through.
Tanushi.
He's very eager. He's a very eager guy. So yeah. He doesn't get hurt by all their powers because when the main sister, the person we're following, tries to kill him, his wounds get healed instead of getting killed. So that's how they know that that's how they
tested whether he's a bug or not.
and that's the excuse on why they can't kill him because they really tried to kill him on the first episode from the get-go, but they can't. It's a fun anime. There's lots of mysteries. What's the red fog? Why are there 2 kinds of humans?
Yay, romance.
Oh yeah. The main character doesn't know why her heart's beating fast and why she's feeling warm whenever she's close to the main character. But it's not intrusive. It's a fun aside.
And it still has some mysteries to solve. Yeah.
So it's kind of like Kemono Friends, basically.
They ride around a bus.
Yeah.
So it's basically Kemono Friends.
It's basically Kemono.
Okay.
Directorial visions.
The red bugs look like the cerulean from Kemono Friends.
So we have 2 Kemono Friends.
Because Kemonikusa was based on Tasi's former work, right?
Yes, it is.
Was it before Kemono
And that I
Friends?
don't know. I have to research on that.
Was Kemono Friends a game before an anime?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Was. So yeah, it's really. I mean, sorry. Going back to the point on how Kemono Friends is a retread of season 1. They even have this pair that are investigating the human, similar to how there's a pair investigating the human in season 1. Right. So yeah, there's that. I think I'm going to like Kemoikusa more than Kemono Friends, which is sad because I like Kemono Friends.
Well, maybe Kemono Friends should have stayed a 1-season thing.
Maybe, or it should have stayed with
under
Tatsuki.
its,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's my anime for this week. I think we're hitting the 1 hour mark. Next week we're gonna talk about the Tate no Yusha thing. Just to preface the whole thing for next week, if you want to search for it, there has been a controversy on the first episode of Rising of the Shield Hero. Tate no Yusha.
Yes.
What's the full episode? No Nariyagari.
Just search Shield Hero, it'll show up.
Yes, about false rape accusations and how they're supposedly hurting the view on rape allegations. So that's gonna be a fun topic for next week.
Not really fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be horrible.
Well, how about we say, okay, did you guys like Shield Hero?
I didn't watch Shield Hero.
Oh, wait, you haven't?
I didn't watch it, I just heard the discourse. Pinafollow ko kasi anime feminist eh.
I don't like anime feminist.
Oh, you read the article?
The manga.
Oh, the manga. I thought you read the
I
article.
read the manga. I'm caught up, but I watched the anime
I see.
again and I was like, oh, 47 minutes. I was like, is this
For
is this
our
fake?
quick opinions, I think that this is a bit overblown.
I think it's dumb.
What do you think?
I think they have a completely solid argument. You know what? This
That's
I
twist.
hate this show because it's No, okay. I don't really care, to be honest. I watched it and I'm like, huh.
As much as I'd like to not care about the controversy, it's really hard to avoid.
And it's our job.
It's our job to talk about it, yeah.
Well, we're going on the discussion.
Actually, we are. That's gonna be, we're gonna continue on that for next week.
Anyway, go watch the 47-minute first episode if you want.
I actually haven't checked our inbox, but I don't think anyone's gonna be sending any questions this week. If you're gonna be sending any comments, suggestions, violent reactions, or anything you want us to read, please send them to upameacadcom@gmail.com. upameacadcom@gmail.com. We are always here in SoundCloud and in the YouTube channel. We post our updates in Facebook, right? Follow us on Facebook. Where else? Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud. Where else? Yeah.
Instagram. We have an Instagram.
I don't think we have an Instagram. Do we have an Instagram?
Probably not.
Probably
don't
not.
know what we post there.
Twitter, Facebook, YouTube,
Please
SoundCloud.
continue following
Check
us.
our Patreon.
Yes.
No, we don't.
I wish. Please continue. If you are listening right now, please continue supporting us. Spread the word to your friends, whether they may be inside or outside of UP Diliman. But yeah, until then, until our next episode, I think that's it for this week. Eric has already left, so I have been Mac.
I've been Stephen.
I've been Flan.
Together with our lovely audience, Clarice, Alex Chan, Mango, and Aliyah. They have been here sitting silently for the past hour, I think. We thank them for listening and for pitching their ideas whenever we have breaks and whenever they're here too. Yeah, it's been a nice hour.
After Hours.
This is actually after hours now. This would be considered after hours. It's about 6 p.m. now. This has been AME After Hours. We will see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.